So here we go. Such an exciting time. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out. Right now I can only see the 4 of you guys. So let me see if I can, oh, there we go. Shows me a couple more people. So I feel like we should wait just a couple more minutes for everyone to get that new link, and we'll, I promise, have this figured out for next week. And then we can get started. So maybe let's just wait like 30 more seconds, if that's okay with everybody, and then we'll get started.
Okay, Megan, Mary Beth is asking, she said she doesn't know how to talk. She said, I'll use chat function. Does that sound right?
The chat function is totally fine. And okay, I can invite her to start her video.
Okay.
And see if that works. If she's on her phone, then she can't use her. Oh, it's interesting. Mary Beth, can you say something? It says that she's actually on.
Okay.
Interesting.
I think. Can you hear me?
Oh, there she is.
I can hear you.
Yay! Okay. Got it.
Hey, how's it going, Mary Beth?
It's going well.
It's okay.
I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, we don't want to take up too much of anyone else's time, so we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm sure people will be texting later, so we'll figure it out. We are recording this in any event, so if anyone needs it, we got it. Okay, so today we are going to be starting with March Mindset Madness. So yeah, you did pay to be here, so you probably figured that's what you're coming to. So we have here, this is where your future begins, which sounds kind of cheesy, but I think a lot of people go through their lives kind of unintentionally. Like, yeah, we just go from step to step to step. It's like, and I think our schools kind of ingrained that in us. Teacher, I'm guilty, but we go from each kind of benchmark in our lives without actually thinking, hey, is this purposefully and intentionally where I want to go? And so that's why we said this is where your future begins, not necessarily that your future just starts now, but the way that you intentionally and purposefully show up to your future is starting now. Maybe.
So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Nicole, and Megan and I know each other through Mary Beth, who is also on this call. Megan taught Mary Beth's youngest son, Thomas, and I think Mary Beth I'm going to speak for her and say this, but I think that Miss Wing, Megan, is going to go down as one of Thomas's all-time favorite teachers forever. And so that's how we got connected. Mary Beth introduced us.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. And yeah, for you guys, I'm Megan Wing. I think I've got lots of my people on here, but yeah, you know who I am. I am a presently kindergarten teacher and life coach, and so excited to be joining up with Nicole. As you guys are going to learn later, we've got very similar interests. So we are just so excited that we can put this program on for you and kind of set you up for success with your mental well-being, you know? Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna take, Megan and I got a little organized prior to this, and I'm gonna do most of the preliminary speaking, just so that Megan doesn't exhaust herself having to talk for the whole thing. Because the bulk of what the first session is going to be, this is very strategically planned, and there is 4 full sessions. Next week, I'm going to be talking mostly, but because she's doing the bulk of like the training parts this week, I'm going to kind of go through all the other preliminary stuff. So can everybody see where it says ground rules on the screen right now? So, okay, good. So basically one of our biggest things is that we want to respect everyone's time. We are going to be sure that this ends by 8 o'clock so that we do not take any more than an hour for anybody, whether you're doing it with us live right now, or, you have to do it later while you're folding laundry or something like that. So we're going to be very respectful of that. And then also, I think everybody is probably already doing this, but just for the sake of not getting anything convoluted, we're going to ask everybody to keep their microphones muted unless you have a question or if there's something else that we need to ask you. And then also, it's probably assumed, but just for y'all's sake too, we are letting you know that we're going to keep any and all information confidential in this. There's not going to be anything required for people to give feedback, but if you do feel like you want to, you're welcome to, and we will keep that confidential. And we know that you guys will do the same as well. So
Exactly.
and then so that you can see like everything under the umbrella, the big picture is for this week, we're going to work mostly on goal setting. Where you are going to create a goal and the fundamental reasoning why. A lot of people with goal setting don't understand that it's so much more than just setting a goal, that there's a process for it. So that's what Megan is going to walk us through. It's the starting point of all of this. And then the second week, we're going to talk about envisioning your goals. And we're actually going to do an activity in creating a vision board where you're going to be able to literally physically visualize that and update it as you go and all of that. It's a really big part of the process. The third week, we're going to talk about strategizing. I'm sorry to have to do this, but let me look over here so I can read it all the way.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I'm like, here.
No, you're fine. You're fine. No, it's totally fine. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that I give you guys all the information you need. So the third week is about figuring out the obstacles and working through them, because that's a big part of this process too, that people aren't prepared for, that once they get excited about, okay, I have a goal and now I have a vision board, and then something happens and they give up and they're not prepared for how to deal with that. So that's something we'll train you about and walk you through as well. And then the very last week is going to wrap it all up. And we're going to talk about scheduling it and even how to schedule it, because it's more than just putting it on a calendar. Strategic. And it'll all come full circle by that last week.
Excellent.
And then while I'm already talking, I'll go ahead and share my mission statement. This is actually part of the reason that Megan and I knew that we were so like-minded, because when we started talking about our mission statements, we were like, wait a minute, they're really similar. And so we have the same goals. So I have a group called Aspire. It's called Aspire to Be You. And my mission statement for that group is to help people identify their God-given gifts and talents, and then to learn how to use them every day to fulfill their unique purpose. That's my goal and what I'm trying to do. And then Megan is going to talk about.
And so, which is perfect because it matches up with mine. I have a group called Goal Getters, but like I told you guys, I am a life coach, and I've been recently focusing with a lot of people just on like general life growth, but also working with them in their careers. And I just want to help people who are high achievers, which just means that you've got like this passion and fuel for life. And I want to help you with creating that dream career in life for yourself, which is pretty cool. So we're going to get into a little get to know you activity.
So one of the things that we wanted to do, just to create a little bit of community, but not in a way too personal or uncomfortable way, is another thing that Megan and I have in common is that we love music. Yes. It can be really moving and energizing and motivating and calming and all of those things that kind of go along with the processes that we're going to kind of be working on. So we would love to know, we're going to share with y'all some of our favorite songs, but we would love to know y'all's favorite song too, just one. If you feel comfortable sharing it, you can put it in the comment section. Megan, can you explain to everybody how to do that if they don't already know?
Absolutely. So I just pulled up the chat, and we have this like quote because we love quotes. So it says, life is one grand sweet song. So start the music. So we're actually going to create a playlist from this. So make it something fun and like something to pump us up. So in the chat box, if you're not familiar with Zoom, no worries if you don't know how to use the chat box. What I did is I clicked more, and it says that if you click Alt and H, it'll pop up too. And then just put your name and your favorite song. My favorite song is obviously September. And this is literally, there are two things that we are asking for you to do from this whole thing. This is one of them. So it's this and one more thing. And that's all you need to do to participate. Hey!
That's so fun that somebody else has September. Okay, and Megan, this is so funny. I don't know how to use the chat box. Okay, I don't even know how to do it.
Try and click Alt H and it should work.
Okay.
We'll see.
Alt H?
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. I'm so glad that I can be the guinea pig for everyone to learn how to do this. Yay, it's there. Perfect. Okay.
Woo! It is a lovely day. No Ron, Dad? No, or No Rain if you're not familiar with the song. I love it. Just giving you a hard time, Dad. All right.
Mhm.
I think this makes it better.
Okay.
Oh, there are so many good ones. I love it, Mary Beth.
What did Mary Beth say? I couldn't see it. What does it say?
Ooh, my dad said, whatever. No Rain. The level of sass in our family. I'm a huge fan. Also, amazing spotting. I'm gonna listen to Dreamland. I'm gonna listen to that tonight. I'm ready. Okay, so that is how we use the chat box, which everyone should already have it up, and I just closed it, which was convenient for no one. But what we're gonna do is in said chat box, because we want you guys to yes. So what we want you guys to do is within all of this fun stuff, we want you to do one more thing for us, and that's to answer this questionnaire. And it's not really for us, it's more so for you. This questionnaire is something, and if everyone wants to click on it, it's going to be something that is going to help you gauge your mindset for the beginning of this course. So without even taking this course, it's completely anonymous, but we want to know, first off, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not likely, 10 being highly likely, how confident are you that you will achieve your goals? And it can be whatever you feel like you want it to be. And I'm going to answer honestly for myself right now. I'm like 4, because I've got some pretty big goals and I'm feeling a little nervous about them. And we're just going to take 30 seconds to do this. So go ahead and click on this link if you don't have the link already. It's in your email as well. So it will be in this email that I just sent as well. So how confident are you in your ability to do the things that you desire to do? I'm feeling okay. I feel like I'm confident in my ability to do the things I desire. So I put that for a 7. Do I feel like my life has direction? I'm kind of working on making it have direction. So I feel like I'm an 8 in that category. And do you feel like you're living the life you were meant to be? I'm working on it, but I'm like in the middle of the road for that right now. So then you hit submit, and then your responses will be collected. You can add more to it, but we really just want numbers. So I'm going to give you one quick song to do that. And we're going to listen. Yeah. One of my favorites, Move On Up. If you don't know that song by Curtis Mayfield. All right. Now we are going to get into some more fun stuff. So right now, we are all in this course to set goals, right? So we have, and a lot of us have these grand, fantastic ideas for these fantastic goals and dreams, like, and we have this like feeling in ourselves, like we want to help the world and we want to change the world and help people grow. The problem is we don't really ever bring those goals to reality, and we don't really know how a lot of the time. So that's why you're here. And that's why a lot of people will say they've got these grand goals, but they don't actually come into fruition. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is why we're even setting goals in the first place, right? What is your point of even being here? The reason why we want to set goals in a smart way is to give your brain the direction and supervision it needs. The way I like to describe your brain is it's almost like your brain is really primitive. It's almost like a toddler running around in a kitchen. It needs some supervision, because it could get into some dangerous things. So we've got to tell our brains what to do. Our brains are actually fairly primitive, and we'll be talking about that in future things, but it's like right now, all you need to know about your brain is that your brain is just trying to constantly keep you safe. So it's looking for things to avoid danger, which has helped us in the past because we've avoided like lions and tigers, like when we were like cave people, growing up. And that was great. So we can be like, oh, thank you, brain, for helping keep us safe. The problem is now we are living in the year 2021, which is there are not typically lions and tigers just hanging about. So our brains have evolved, and it's called a maladaptation, to where now we search for the danger in emotional things instead of searching for danger in physical things. So a goal actually is considered a physical danger in your brain. So it kind of freaks your brain out, and it's going to make you kind of go into all this drama about things. But what you want to do is you're going to put yourself out in an emotionally slightly uncomfortable space by setting a goal, but it's going to help you evolve to the next version of yourself. You are actually changing the physiological like makeup of your brain, and it's actually like been proven, like if you're a nerd like me, like with neuroscience, it like actually changes the ways that your the paths in your brain work. So that is the first reason. You want to evolve into the next version of yourself. We want to change out that primitive side of us. The second reason is we want you to create from your future instead of your past. Like I said before, your brain wants to stay efficient along with avoiding the danger. So it's like we want to conserve energy. So it's like, yeah, we're just going to do today what we did yesterday. Sounds great. And we have 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day. And 95% of them, if you go without checking your thoughts, it's just repeat. So your brain is just repeating and recycling what happened yesterday and thinking the same things, like get up, do coffee, drink coffee, go to work, come home from work, binge Netflix, go to bed. So it's like you're just creating the same thing over and over and over again, which is great if you want to just like, I don't have any problem with that. I'm not trying to put anyone down. But I know that you guys are here because you want maybe something different than that. You're looking for that and maybe that next level, and you're not sure how to do it. So you want to create. We're going to teach you how to create from your future instead of just recreating and just reliving the same life you've always lived. And then the last reason is kind of entwined like that, but it's so that you can live a life you deliberately and truly want. Are you actually getting up in the morning and drinking your coffee and going to work because you chose it? Or is it because it's something that you're like, yes, this is the path I chose for my life? Most people haven't considered what's going to happen 25 years from now. Most people aren't thinking about that. For you, I want you to be a little different than that. I want you to think to what's going to happen 25 years from now for you. I don't want you to just live off the momentum of your past and do what today tells you to do and be like, yep, check calendar, check the boxes. I want you to choose and set these goals so that you can actually live the life that you want to live and set yourself up for success. So that 25 years from now, you're like, yeah, I wrote that book. Yeah, I did that podcast. Yeah, I climbed that mountain, whatever your goal is. And I want to let you know it doesn't have to be big. It could just be something like small, like maybe you want to get up a couple minutes earlier in the morning. But any goal, anything, no matter how small it might seem to you, is a big change in the makeup of who you are showing up in the world as and helping the collective conscious of all of us. When one person grows, it's like a ripple effect. Even if it's something small, just like getting up a little bit earlier, other people start to feel that energy and it helps us change as a group. So even if you have a goal already, I want you to learn how to set a goal from abundance, as you can see, as the title says. So I think it's really important to understand how to set a goal from this abundance mindset. A lot of us, especially if you're here, that means you've got a goal and you're wanting something. You're wanting some sort of change in your life. And if you are in that mindset, sometimes it can be easy to slip into scarcity, like desperation, like, oh my gosh, I need to lose that 15 pounds. Oh, I like have to get this. I have to work out for this many minutes every day. I have to do this. And it gets really desperate and scarce and graspy in a way that just doesn't feel good. And it doesn't set you up for success. So what we're going to do is you are going to kind of set these goals from a place of like, my life is already complete. I already have enough. That's what abundance means. It's just that you have enough already. And setting this goal is like the cherry on top, the sprinkles on an already amazing, complete life. So in order to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to make a list of 30 things that you want. These 30 things are going to be things that you want in your life. However, you're going to write down the first 15 as the things that you already have. So we're going to start with things like, for me, I really want to have a loving, amazing, supportive family. I want to have an insanely incredible roommate who made me dinner tonight. I want to have a fantastic boyfriend who's on this call. I want to have supportive, fantastic friends who also have amazing goals. It's like, and I want to have this amazing network. These are things I want desperately, and they're things I already have. And you guys are living proof of that. So what we're going to do is in the chat, I'm going to share with you a note-taking document. Again, if you're driving, please do not open this up. If you do not know how to use the chat, it's totally fine. And you are going to go through and fill out this list. Oop, I might need, here we go. You're going to fill out, if you want, totally, again, everything except for the questionnaire, and even the questionnaire, honestly, is optional. This is what this worksheet looks like, and it will ask you to force a copy. So when you click on the document, it'll look like this. It'll say, do you want to make a copy? And I already made a copy. So
the other thing is that we do have it in a PDF.
Ooh, wait, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Everyone might be joining on the same document. LOL. Just a brief technical difficulty. Like, yeah, hold on. Let me get you the correct link. Do not use that link. Nicole, if you can you delete that from the chat so we're not in the same document?
Yes.
Thank you. Fun fact. So this is the email that you got. The form is this one. This is the Google document. And then we also sent you the PowerPoint as well.
So Megan, is it the one that you just sent? Like
yeah.
Okay.
If you could just delete that, that'd be sensational. I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
Try clicking on this one, people. Yes, this one should say, would you like to make a copy? So then you're going to make a copy so that not everyone's on the same notes. Let me know if that makes sense. If that doesn't make sense, that's totally fine. It looks like no one else is on this yet, so that's good. Okay, so on that list, like I wrote, I want to have an amazing home. I want to have a loving family, supportive friends. Oh, great. Awesome. Fantastic boyfriend, wonderful career, thriving coaching business. We're going to take this next song for you guys to Um, we're going to take this next song for you guys to fill out your want list. First 15 are going to be things that you want and already have. For the next 15, I want you to write down your goals. If you already have goals, excellent. Those will be your next 15. If you don't, if you're struggling with thinking of a goal, here's what I like to do. Think about yourself 10, 25 years from now. What I want you to do is I want you to think about, what is that version of you doing? Who is that person becoming? What goals are they achieving? Now, thinking about that person, try and think about what you would want to do in this year, 2021, to help that person get there. LOL. Grandchildren, no pressure to anyone on this call. I love this. Yeah, you can add that to the list. Anyone, feel free. This is so fun. I gotta love you guys. Nick, how you feeling right now? Doing great. Same.
I want to be alive.
Oh, good. Excellent. This is my family, everybody. This is why we have so much fun. So yeah, take this next song and feel free to fill out your list. And if you don't finish, obviously this is your document, so take your time. This is for you, Dad, before you made the grandchild comment. And Nicole and I are doing this along with you in solidarity, so you got this. And you can I start at my 15th and I write things I want to do. How is that volume, Nicole?
It's good. I think we're good.
Cool.
But Megan, I could not figure out how to delete that. So it's there. I don't know. I clicked on it and it
come on back to the Zoom meeting if you left us. If you haven't finished, again, obviously, this is totally fine. I'm not finished just yet, but I'm looking at my list of all my wants so far, and I want you to pick one that you want to work on for this workshop. Okay, just one. And if you finish the call and you're like, oh my goodness, there's something else I want to do, totally fine. You can always go back and redo it. That is totally fine. So what we want to do is I'm going to look at my list and think about the 15 things that are on my want list that are things I don't yet currently have. For me right now, I want to stop over drinking. So this is my one goal that I want to focus on. And now we're going to think about, okay, this is what I want to do. And this does mean drinking alcohol. It is true what they say about teachers, just kidding. So we are going to focus on this one thing. And now I am going to explain to you the importance of restraint in just a moment, but we are going to give yourself direction. So this is the one thing that you want to focus on for the 4 weeks of March Mindset Madness. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to pick a timeline. Now, don't freak out if you're like the kind of person that's like, well, I don't know how long it will take for me to completely organize the attic, or I'm not sure how long it's going to take to lose the weight. It's okay. Whatever your goal is, I just want you to pick a timeline, because my goal is to drink less by the end of the year. But can you just take a minute and see how vague that is? Like, if we just take a minute, like that is just so like, yep, cool. Like, how am I going to know that I'm going to drink less by the end of the year? So by picking a timeline, you actually get to pick a date. Now, when I pick a date, what I want to do is I want this date to be something that's going to challenge you and change you into that next person to help you evolve. So for me, I was like, May 2nd, it's going to be 2 days after my birthday. That is a date that's going to challenge me. That's going to challenge me to drink less. So here is my goal set. If you do not need to go back to this note-taking page if you do not want to. If you want to do this later, that's fine. And if you just wanted to sit here and take it all in, that's fine too. So my timeline is by May 2nd. Okay. 2021. That is when I'm going to stop over drinking. And I changed my goal to be going without alcohol. That is my goal. Wow, I couldn't spell alcohol for a second. So the second thing it says is making it measurable. How are you going to know that you achieved it? So how am I going to know that I stopped over drinking or going without alcohol? Like, it's like, and I'm going to add that as like to the top. Okay. So I'm going to make it measurable by saying I'm going to go 90 days without drinking consecutively. I can't spell that right now. It's okay. I had Red Bull today and I'm like, spelling is like hard when you're frantic. Okay. So we've got 90 days without drinking. Now I'm going to set this in the present tense. Okay. So I'm going to set this goal from the present tense, and also back to being measurable. I'm tallying up these days without drinking on our fridge. So if you were to come into my house right now, you would see I've got tallies, and I like put little stars around like each 10-day mark. And I'm like, whoa, I made it 10 more days without drinking. So I'm literally going to count the tallies on my fridge, and I'm going to know I made it because I'm going to count that 90th tally. And it's interesting because again, I want it to change me to become the person I'm meant to be. So this is kind of crazy and possible because I don't think I've gone more than a week without drinking since I actually started teaching. Not something I'm necessarily proud of. It's just a fact in the world. And I'm like, that's not necessarily how I want to show up in the world. So that is why this is a goal. And I want you to write down your goal. And I want you to think, whoa, this is so hard. Like in a little bit, but not like something that's going to be like, whoa, this is like really hard, but just enough to be like, huh. Like 90 days without drinking. It makes me go like, oh my God, like a little bit. So it's like, you want it to be something that like really pushes you to become that next version of yourself. So then you write this goal in the present tense. So you're writing it from who you are today as a person who has already achieved this goal, right? So I will be alcohol free, which rhymes unintentionally, for 90 days. Now, my friend Cam, who I actually have a podcast with, we were talking about it before we did our podcast, and he helped me change it because I was thinking like, I won't drink for 90 days. And that just sounds really negative. So if you can kind of try and phrase it to be something more podcast like positive, like alcohol free just sounds a little bit better than not drinking. You see what I mean? Just that language shift, it really helps. Also, shameless plug, because check out the podcast and it's really fun and he's amazing. So that is all for setting it in present tense. And then creating your vision. So this is really what we're going to focus on next week. But I just want you to think about, just pause and take a second and envision yourself achieving your goal, whether it's working out daily. I want you to actually just like take a minute and see yourself working out. For me, I'm like going out to brunch and I'm not having a drink, having a mimosa. I'm having orange juice or a virgin Bloody Mary or things like that. Like actually like creating that vision and being like, okay, after work, I'm going to go to the fridge and I'm going to have sparkling water. You know, it's like seeing yourself having created that goal. What's one thing that you can write down? So for me, it's like going to the fridge, and not needing alcohol to relax. I really want that. Like I want to not need alcohol to relax. So I'm going to not needing alcohol. Wow, that changed to wedding. Alcohol to relax. And then for the constraint, this is my one goal. So I'm only going to focus on it, not drinking. And for these, you don't need to write anything. It's just a reminder. The thing that we want to make clear is that we are humans. And as human beings, we are perfectly imperfect. But when we are doing things like making goals, it is so tempting